Rip, David Wilcock, like an OG crazy alien guy, I haven't right? Followed him for recent years, but back in the day, and I'm talking like 20 years ago back in the day, I was all over this. This man finally spoke my language. He, for that time, was saying, I'm not ever gonna myself, right? I'm not there was kind of a little self-manifestation there because I think it really did cause him some fear. This is the first time I look at his chart. He and I are astrology twins. We're in such a good club. Anyways, we have a good thing going, but let's focus. So we have that 21-degree rising Scorpio. He died at 53 years old, so that would be a sixth house profection year, also ruled by Mars. There's just some interesting things that we're gonna kind of discover together because I'm doing this a little impromptu. Neptune's in the first. I really see Neptune with people who end up on screen, right? Well, the first time I heard that, I was like, yeah, right. Follow that. Neptune is the screen. It's still an illusion, right? That Pisces fourth with exalted Venus and detriment and fallen and retrograde Mercury. This Mercury is such a little trickster. So this guy is a paranormal personality, right? He's been around for a while. Both Pisces and Scorpio are archetypes that deal with the unseen, which definitely play into the paranormal, the alien, the all of it though. Look at Neptune back in the first, going back to Neptune in the first, hanging out with real aliens. We see that this Mercury can just think anything. We see that this Neptune, also in Sag, big thinker, fanatical, delusional, sometimes at best, right in the first house and being seen for it. But yeah, Pisces, it's in the fourth. It's already in a secluded area. It's not unseen. Obviously, it's in square to the ascendant, so it's one of the most active houses, but it's the house of the private life. It's unseen. Rising Scorpio, it's about seeing the unseen and finding the truth and digging and then pursuing that dig and like well after what is probably an established point of comfort, right? uh this Mars on the North Node is really interesting. I really get the sense that his post-mortem life will be equally famous, equally known, if not more so. Venus. Ooh. Okay, so what my mind just did was I wonder if he had hidden enemies through Mercury since it's so disheveled. And then I look to the house of hidden enemies and I see the exalted Venus. Ooh, keep your enemies closer. Well, that's what happens. Yeah, so if we look at his death chart, all right, so here if we go to whole signs for a second, because we know it's a sixth house perfection year and these work in tandem. We see the cluster fuck of Aries happening. So I I mean, I would really like to study death charts more. The death charts that I have studied have largely had more connections than this. Like the soul's imprint at death is so magnificent sometimes. It really shows the soul's whole purpose for being here. Like it's one of the signatures of our lives, right? So he was bound to have some kind of tough year. Now he's March, right? So he is just no, he's just beginning his year. I am conspiracy minded and I don't believe he himself, okay? Anyway, yeah, Venus is on Algol, okay? Oh, Venus is on Algol. And my brain just did that about the hidden enemies, and it was Venus. I wish I knew more. Oh, Neptune was right in the bends. Oh, there are connections. Take your time, hurry up. Okay, so the Neptune. I wanted to talk about Jupiter in opposition to Mars, but now there's Neptune. There's gonna be there's gonna be some interesting documentaries, cinematic features. There's gonna be some interesting stuff coming out after, starting now. Starting right? Meows. You know? So there's the Algol gives me visions. This is all about me. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this conjunction in his sixth house, his whole sign sixth house, with the chart ruler and the profection year ruler and the house ruler in that house. Very, very, very strong. Neptune is also there. Opposite Pluto, going into opposition with Pluto. I guess that's a direct hit. Because Pluto is retrograde, they're mutually applying. There are more connections than I previously saw. I bet with this lunation cycle. Okay, because now this is the lunation cycle that we are in currently. So this happened at right? This happened when the sun just entered Taurus. Welcome to Taurus season, ruled by the planet of war. I mean Venus. Um, this is the full moon for this lunation cycle. Even though it's just a degree off, Neptune is out of the direct square. Jupiter is out of the direct opposition. This is intuition. My brain did the thing about looking to the 12th and seeing Venus. And then suddenly it was like, oh, Venus. And then I put the chart up and I noticed Venus on Algol. Now, I am far out. I am far out. I also have four planets in Capricorn, so I'm not far out, but I am far out. Whoo! I suddenly see this whole drama, this whole like, and he speaks about being the reincarnated person, right? If you follow him, you know that he has claimed professionally that he's the reincarnation of Edgar Cayce. Okay. So I know reincarnation is in his matrix or whatever, his his coding, much better. Uh, so yeah, I suddenly saw this drama come from Algol because sometimes Algol gives me these visions when I see charts and people connected to this star. It's not just a star, it's a solar system with stories to tell and a lot of holding. There's a there's a vault there. There's a vault there, and it's a mind, body, soul kind of vault. Interesting. Neptune and Pluto are getting real tight. The face off there is real. And Neptune is the screen, and Pluto is transformation. I wonder how his reputation does. I wonder how much is uncovered from his story. Now, I know he's lived in isolation. That's what I wanted to say a million years ago with the signs of the unseen. He has himself through the paranoia of the scorpionic mind and the actual ability to be in isolation with Pisces. He's, as far as I know, been living in the mountains with like very little actual um, social life. Professional life is not social, right? If I knew more, I would have the mind to make predictions, but I just feel um, that his presence on screen is not nowhere near finished. Oh, Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce has the Mars. Okay, has the Mars in Capricorn too. Interesting. Has the Venus. So they have the same Mars, Venus, Sun, and Moon, and Mercury in the same signs. Saturn is different and in square. Yeah, in a pretty tight square. Pluto's obviously different. Pluto. That's pretty cool though, having a Pluto trine with someone. Ooh, yummy. I mean, not, I'm sorry I said that. Interesting how David's North Node is in that 3-degree engagement with Edgar's Mars. Okay, they share that same Mars in Capricorn, and it's David's north node's pull forward. He brought Edgar Cayce, not like Edgar Cayce, as far as I'm aware, like wasn't his reputation wasn't suffering or anything. He didn't necessarily need a revival through David Wilcock, and I always kind of thought it was one of the more whack job woo woo things to claim. But we love these people. There's a few of them out there. I just have such a huge heart for them. I'm like, you're crazy. Get in there. It's just cool how his North Node is dragging that Mars forward. Like there is a shared resonance. There's a shared signature in that Mars. Oh, is Algol in this chart? I wonder where Algol was when Casey was born. So the cool part and the kind of creepy part is that this next full moon is also a full moon lunation for Edgar Cayce. Post-mortem, of course, but doesn't mean much to the chart. I wanted to see if I saw a past life connection, like a soul connection here, because sometimes it screams. Sometimes it screams. If you're asking me about soul use porphyry, you know, every single house system has a reason for me. So of course we see that moon right away. We see that they have the personal planets in common too, but that moon is precise. Yeah, lots of Pisces. The Mars, okay, the between the Mars and the moon, I can see that. Edgar Cayce's Pluto right on David's descendant. So we can see how David was transformed by Cayce. His Cayce's solar light also shines quite bright on David's mind, right? Mercury, that's 1 degree. David was able to do more with his Jupiter, was able to go a little horizontal. Seeing this configuration in Edgar's fifth house is interesting too. Kind of like a prodigy down the line, but it's bringing a mission forward. See, I would be comfortable to believe that David downloaded a mission. I would. I'm also not uncomfortable believing that he really is the incarnation of Edgar Cayce. If I had to guess, I would guess that David left the simulation as with the Mercury transit Mars. Mars went over Saturn the previous day. Mercury caught up. Mercury over Mars makes the most sense for his chart. And Mercury is a little devil. Really, really far out. really far out, access to so many codes. My God, access to so many codes. Um, but that's what I'm learning with my observations. The it balance is everything for the real world to sustain to be sustainable in the real world. Balance is the key. Too much of anything that you want, too much of a good thing, too much is too much. Too much is too much. Desire from, yeah, scarcity is very attracted to the idea of more. So our minds do some fantastical things with how all those things stack, but more often becomes too more is amazing if you don't have enough. But if you have enough, then more becomes too much again. And um more is more. Rest in peace, David Wilcock. You have changed the lives of many. You've entertained us, you have educated us, and you've done a really amazing job at all the things, dude. Fucking rock on. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Whoa. Fucking rock on.